wanna do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you wanna do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Come?
Alright, I'll do my own bits myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it. Get off the road.
Wait, hey Dave? Yeah? Are we doing a show tonight? I mean, we're over here at the Nerdy set and I don't see everybody. Dave, it looks like it's the camera's set. Are we? Dave, we're live. Oh god. Okay, hold on.
So we got to present in the big room once, and now not again.
We'll keep it special. We'll keep it special. Hey Dave,
Yes.
what did the DJ name their son?
I'm going to mispronounce this accent, but wiki.
Eric?
I was so close.
You were. Welcome, everyone, to the Nerd Glasses Podcast, the final show of 2022. How's it going, Dave?
Wonderful. Had so much fun perusing through all those awesome photos that Juan got of the nerdies last week.
Love
And
them.
and thank you for wrangling his talents to be there to take pictures. That was
I immediately
really
set
special
one as
memory.
my profile picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. He got some really great moments. There's a great shot of Dan reading your name. There's our shenanigans with the look. You can see our legs, and me wanting to go like yeet. Yeah, it was a really good time. About the only thing not captured on camera was when I started to strip, but that's probably for the best. That's on YouTube anyway.
Pilk. That'll do that to you.
Oh, there was plenty of photos of the reaction to Pilk. I never want Pilk to be within a 5-foot radius. I never want Pilk in melee range of me again. We're gonna put it that way. Otherwise, you're gonna find out why I call it melee range.
It is going to be a rough St. Jude season for you.
Okay, for the kids, I make an exception. For the kids.
For the kids.
Welcome, everybody. I hope that you have had a wonderful holiday, whatever you celebrate. I know that there is still some going on. I hope that the season is going really well for you. Yeah, Dave, how was yours?
Good. I realized I didn't do any of the media socials, so I'm getting into that. But it was
Absolutely, no
good.
worries.
I had a gathering of the clans of my family, the different sects, and we all got together in one place, and it was really nice to see everybody as opposed to through screens or everyone taking necessary precautions and things like that. It was really nice this year to be able to have at. As you can hear, my students left me with a gift of post nasal drip. And I was really excited about that. When I woke up the first day where I didn't have to wake up and go to the classroom, it was just like, oh, good. This is great. I love those kids.
Yeah,
I do.
we visited one side of the family, and they had recent run-ins with the flu, so we just like showed up for half an hour. We had our mask on. We said hi to everybody. We exchanged gifts. It was great to see everybody. Then we headed back home, and we took some of the food made and warmed it up at home, and it was a good time. It was a cozy Christmas.
Good.
It was nice to see half the family and to make that work. And then the other half of the family will be next month. So getting as much Christmas in as we can.
I won't lie. I was pretty jazzed that this year a lot of hanging out occurred and all the good events.
Mhm.
Especially because some of the family wanted to play Cards Against Humanity, and there are two kids in the household. So Uncle David went downstairs with them, and we watched Santa Paws
Okay.
that I'd never seen before. Heartbreaking,
I'm
heartbreaker.
sorry, that is not the adjective I was expecting.
Santa Claus gets mugged in New York City, gets robbed, gets very sick, goes to the hospital eventually. Capitalism. Santa Claus gets a necklace stolen from him and turns back into a stuffed animal, and then almost gets stuffed into a furnace. I'm like sitting here watching this. I'm like, It's the land
Toy
before
Story 3 level trauma. Why?
Like,
I didn't sign up for this.
I didn't, but my my niece and nephew were playing their Switches, and so didn't notice me going, "Gah! Ha!
Yeah. I'm sure this will traumatize me in 20 years, but for now. Oh boy. Welcome to everyone in chat. Demon Dragon far too excited for Pilk for the kids. And Dude Icarus, you can keep it shut over there. And welcome more like Rigor Mortis, the third host arriving late as per usual.
It's nerdy award-winning third host to you, Boater.
To everyone, to all involved. We're going to skip some of the usual things that we do at the start of the show. I heard someone on Twitter refer to this week. Actually, I got to double check if they said vaporware or vaporwave. Because first I read it as vaporwave, and that didn't make sense. And I'm like, wait, maybe that says vaporware. Either way, this is the week that doesn't exist. This week between Christmas and New Year, if you're still working, I know I still have day job, you still have day job, great. But there's like a lot of parts where it's just, oh, we're just in kind of like this weird no man's land of stuff in between the big holidays and then the start of the next year.
Yeah.
All of which is to say that there wasn't a notable Twitch ban, and there's nothing.
Good
coming
job,
out.
internet. And yeah, there wasn't much of note for me to feel confident to promote it to you guys here on the program, and also there was just a whole lot of porn games, just a metric ton of them.
Actually, on second thought, we can talk about some of the releases, Dave. You've got trailers, right?
No, I
Damn
don't.
it. You failed me.
You can
What?
tune in. You can tune into Insane Games late night. That'll be going live at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it'll be
Dave?
hosted by an NFT that no one's ever spoken about previous to this.
I was gonna ask who the host is, and you disappointed me. I don't know what answer would have satisfied me, but the answer of an NFT supremely disappointed me.
Hey, it's me, NFT. I'm your friend.
My work has barely anyone else there. It was a beautiful, nice.
Love it.
I used a GIF in Microsoft Teams chat, and I was like, "That's weird," and I pointed out like a bunch of weird things with the GIF, just like very odd. And then I looked it up. I'm like, "Oh, it's like a line of characters." And my coworker made the connection of NFTs, and I was like, "I don't think." Oh no, they are.
Ew.
They were like this really cute set of like gifs, like it looks like Pusheen kind of thing of like here's a character that in this case has a whole bunch of like different reaction gifs and stuff. I'm like, oh neat. Is a limited run of 8,800 characters. Oh my god, no. Why? They were
Ugh.
penguins, they were cute.
Gross.
Insane Games Late Night, is that something that can even air to Twitch? No, it's on Mixer.
So Insane Games Late Night used to be a constant program on Insane Games TV. It was any night where late night programs, and it was predominantly hosted by Dan.
Yep.
And it is the placeholder for programs that either do not have a name, hosts are not cemented yet,
Yeah.
and things like that. You'll notice it'll appear periodically, so always check it out. It's only on Pornhub and OnlyFans, exactly. So instead of having games to recommend, I did want to, all of you folks in chat and for us here, to think about games of 2022 that, we had of course, voting for the game of the year, which was won by both Warhammer 40k Darktide and Elden Ring. Awesome. But there were games that either just didn't elicit enough votes or just didn't warrant a nod or things like
Mhm.
that. So while you guys ponder, and you guys in chat definitely think of the games of 2022 for you that made the difference, that you either found this year. They don't have to have been the games you played this year in
Yeah,
2022.
not a
They
game.
do not have to be, well, this game was an SNES cartridge, so I didn't get to. Um, I mean, for me, Gigabash just recently had a Godzilla Toho licensed expansion.
Mhm.
So let's just say I've been in my glory doing that.
I'm listening, but I
Um,
gotta zoom out the
and
camera
I've
just a little.
been
It feels
having
claustrophobic.
a lot of fun doing the various jobs and work with Overwatch 2. And I've really enjoyed the integrations with live streaming with Overwatch 2 specifically, because that's my niche and where I interact with.
Yep.
But the fact that, like, today, Steve had both mine and his Twitches up. I claimed them, by the way. Because what they do is, if you it's a token thing. If you watch for X amount of time, you get either in-game content, be it a spray or an emote or a skin or things like that. Nothing that changes the gameplay at all, but it just feels good and it feels nice, and it also promotes the uh the welfare of people streaming the game too, because it's not just only certain streamers, it's literally everyone of every size. If you're queued in on Twitch as playing Overwatch 2, drops happen, and other games do have drops as well. You can check those out actually on the drops tab on Twitch, but
Up there somewhere.
lurking on folks' streams, always a helpful and good thing. Um, and I was struck, by the way, because I was listening to a band, Poets of the Fall, the other day, and I was thinking about Alan Wake and thinking about Alan Wake, and then I was listening to My Dark Disquiet, and I was like, wow, I remember this song long ago in a galaxy. Oh my God, Control! I never finished it.
It's true.
um,
It's true. You should.
and I want to. One day they're going to add that eighth day a week, and it won't be a day that I work. And
Dave, I think you're gonna have to wait until like the 12th day adds to the week, because they're gonna add an 8th day and you're gonna work. They're gonna add a 9th and you're gonna work.
probably.
They're gonna add a
Um,
10th and you'll only work one of your jobs on that day. That'll be nice.
I enjoy getting the game time that I do get. There is, of course, an absorbent back supply that I want to get to, but that'll be for 2023. Dave, 2022. Dave is enjoying all the spoils and fruits of gaming in 2022, where a lot of games that were supposed to come out in 2021 got delayed,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have them here in our basket, flopping around. Um, any games for you for 2022 that, or things like that?
Um, I mean, Hard Space Shipbreaker is what I cast my vote for Game of the Year. It is a game that I had certainly played before, and I enjoy the core gameplay loop, whatever. But when it released and it came out of early access and the full story was
Yeah,
available, I've talked about it before, but it just, at the moment that it hit, to have such a strong pro-labor message in it, that was done in a great way that builds tension and such. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's necessarily the best game that I played, but I think it's the one that most left the impression
yeah.
this year. Um, Aside from what I played this year, this week I just started playing Need for Speed Unbound. I got that.
Perfect, perfect.
I got that for Christmas on Sunday, and
And then he went back and put it just as far away from his mouth.
you know what? Because I'm projecting, and I don't want to. You're gonna shout me out anyway. It doesn't matter what I do. Anyway, yeah.
Get on my level, bitch.
I'm enjoying Unbound so far for the whole like 3 or 4 hours that I put into it.
Nice.
Let's see. Watching Willow, which the last episode was really good, and
Nice.
had some like real like it's kind of one of those episodes that's here's a turning point where the party is really starting to like work together instead of against each other, and you know they're working together on a thing instead of all happening to go in the same direction narratively. And they structured it really well to give chances for characters to be alone together to converse that haven't had the chance yet this season. And just really enjoyed that. yeah, season's getting good, so I'm looking forward to watching the next episode, which unfortunately, due to Steph going downstate tomorrow night and then friends visiting, whatever, I don't know when I'll actually get to watch it. So it'll be like, sorry everyone that's visiting. Steph and I need to go watch this for like 50 minutes.
Nice. Steve, any games for you of 2022?
You can't hear me. You can hear me. You can't see me.
I can hear you, but
I'm glad you guys can hear me. But
Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I haven't touched it lately because my mind's been on other things like Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, various NASCAR games that I own, Gran Turismo 7. But definitely that, and for watching. If I put Bad Batch on enough times in the store, I'm gonna somehow watch the whole thing. 'Cause this is like the third day I put it on, and I've seen parts that I haven't seen yet, but it's still not.
that's an
connecting.
awful way to watch a series.
I gotta do it before season 2 comes out next week,
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Is it next week already?
January 4th.
I thought it was the week after that. So I
Uh,
guess then that Willow and Bad Batch will run concurrently for a bit. I thought Willow was going to end and then Bad Batch would pick up in that Wednesday release slot,
Hmm.
but because Willow has more than just one episode left in its season, I think. I hope.
Yep, January 4th for
Okay.
Bad Batch season 2.
Cool.
But other than that, that's about it.
And in chat, what's so like either what are you playing right now that has you, or just what left the biggest impression on you, playing in 2022? And so when we talk about what we're playing or whatever, we also do mention watching, like we said, Bad Batch. And again, I'm gonna say it's not Andor left a huge impression on me, like more so like well in excess of Kenobi, and let's see, I think Book of Boba Fett was this year as well.
Yes.
Like Book of Boba Fett was good, Kenobi was fine, Andor was amazing. So, maybe the media I consumed that left the biggest impression on me was Andor.
Nice.
Auntie says right now playing Dark Tide. Hi, by the way, and hello, Auntie.
Vladdy, I sold my Xbox Series S. Oh, your prestigious Xbox Series S that you had to put in everyone's faces during streams and things. It's gone now.
Gonna start Andor tonight because I know New Year's is the end of the Andor spoiler moratorium. Interesting. Brother got me Slay the Spire on Steam on stream. Nice. Also because I found the Family Disney Plus login. Mwahaha!
Very nice.
I mean, no, we would never condone such things. This is all everyone that lives within the same household, so it's totally fine. The Steam replay breakdown of 22 stats are amazing. I haven't checked my Steam replay. I saw like the Twitch recap that went up a few weeks ago. I saw a couple people posting the Steam replays. Is that something I can do right now?
I don't know if mobile has it, but I know the home PC version
Yeah.
does.
I'm not sure. Vladdy fondly remembering telling us how he got the Xbox Series S when both of us were next-gen console-less. On the storefront in the sales page, scroll down a bit. All right. Yeah, I'll see if it's something I can do for mobile. If not, yeah, because I'm
Make
interested to see
sure
what some of those stats
while
are.
you're watching and while Boater scrolls to give your vote for what snack shall we try tonight. We've got Red Bean Mochi, the Mystery Box, Red Vines versus Twizzler, and Snowball M&Ms
I
tonight.
didn't see the
Four
fourth choice.
options.
I didn't see the fourth
Um,
choice. Yep, I'm getting there now. Stellaris, 14% of my playtime. Interesting. American Truck Simulator, only at 10% of my playtime. Oh, neat. The breakdown of 81% keyboard mouse, 17% controller. I don't know what the last 2% is. That math doesn't add up.
Interesting. The 2% when the batteries were disconnected and you were trying to put it back in for the year.
Apparently.
Like-
And it's not steering wheel because that would be the like 10% of time spent in American Truck Simulator would be on the wheel.
Oh, maybe VR, says Auntie.
Maybe. I don't know that I played any from Steam, but that could potentially like Steam VR actually might have been open when I connected my Quest 2 to do I had like a third party thing that I did. So that could be it. 25% of the playtime Elite Dangerous. Nice.
Very nice.
33% of the games that I played were 2022 releases. These are some neat stats to break down.
I remember mine because mine was, hey, you played a lot of Valheim and also some Faz and maybe a little bit of V Rising, and that was kind of it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't do a lot of BattleTech. You picked this game back up in March. Oh, after how many years away? Don't tell me. This complete breakdown with a bar graph. Good times. Really cool. I like that.
Dude, Icarus, I played a whole 7 games on Steam this year. Hot Wheels Unleashed at 66%.
Does look like virtual reality is counted, so that would probably be it.
Auntie saying Steam VR was obviously running when I played Stray, my top VR game. What?
Yeah, actually, I'm looking, and it's like your top played VR games, and I see Faz, Stray, and the store is closed, even though I didn't play any of those in VR. So that's just bizarre. I think that's just Steam VR being all like, I'm gonna latch onto this now. I'm like, please don't. Please don't. VR is broken. Yeah, it's weird. I played a whole 7 games on Steam this year. Hot Wheels Unleashed at 66%. Amazing.
Is there an echo in here?
Listen, I was reading. I wasn't listening. I was
A very riveting thing for us to be doing live on our program.
Fine. Then I will read something else. I don't know. Do you want to go on to news yet?
I would be glad to.
Oh,
Speaking of VR
maybe-
being broken,
Maybe we should share some of the latest news from.
would be glad to. That would be excellent.
It's been a while, folks, since we brought you the latest of updates from Danbury, but we've got some actually really exciting and thrilling news from the little town of Lego that is continuing to grow and expand right here in the Insane Games TV studio.
So I've got good news and I got bad news. The good news is you got a good story. The bad news is only one of the pictures actually saved.
That's okay.
Okay, well that's
But-
fine. Well, I shall paint a picture with words then. And I was not there for this moment. It sounds quite harrowing, but for the longest time with Danbury, there has been an area off to the side where there has been a growing army of battle droids biding their time. And this past week, they invaded. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. And so this was who leads the army of battle droids again? Nico invaded, and fortunately, the forces of Danbury, along with a lot. Oh my God, Sonic! With plenty of help, were able to repulse the invasion. Were able to push back, to kick the Trade Federation out of Danbury, and along the way annex some new land that they're already planning on turning into a desert airstrip, I believe. There's been a lot going on after some time where Danbury had kind of settled into a routine. This seems like the shakeup that it needed. I hear that no buildings were damaged in the invasion, and no citizens were disassembled in ways that they couldn't be reassembled. So, yeah, it seems like the battle droids were ineffectual. Who'da thunk?
This attack was actually in retaliation towards Mike for murdering and disassembling Nico and throwing his head in a pot of stew and the body over a fire in the Tusken Raider camp.
I'm
One
sorry.
Tusken Raider has since taken the
That
job
seems
at
like
the-
pure hearsay and speculation. I think we all know that this was an unprovoked attack on the sovereign land of Danbury, and we will not have any of this false flag conspiracy baseball. Get out! No, you're not on the set. Get out.
It wasn't
We're not
false.
having it.
I was there. I was at that Tusken Raider camp and I watched the whole thing.
Your word is untrustworthy, then, sir.
I mean, the word of the Supreme Chancellor is the word of the Supreme Chancellor.
This is why Danbury has several police departments. We were really grateful. that
Not
they
one large
had
department. There are multiple
so
departments.
many authorities to respond quickly to the droid invasion, and we do have it on good authority that more authorities will be on site to continue to maintain the peace in Danbury.
We all welcome our military state overlords in Danbury. All hail Supreme Ruler Dan, who can do no wrong. And again, this was an unprovoked attack. Yeah, that feels weird being state propaganda for a Lego town. All right.
It's the safest way to be.
Whatever keeps me on Dan's good side, right? Let's see. I mentioned I mentioned that one of the reasons that I really liked Hardspace Shipbreaker was its kind of pro-labor message. In this year where we saw a lot of unionization in game studios, we saw a lot of things going on. Blizzard Albany unionizing with QA devs. Same thing in Raven Software. And the latest is that Boston-based gaming studio Proletariat announced their plans to unionize. If you're unfamiliar with the studio, they were acquired by Activision Blizzard back in July to do work on World of Warcraft. And they say that they're seeking to protect the culture that they've built at the company since it was founded in 2012. This one is notable because this isn't just the quality assurance team. This isn't something that Blizzard can be like, oh, well, we don't think these dozen people should speak for the whole studio. This is the whole studio. This is 60 odd, all of the non-management employees who are in this push to unionize. And although they are calling for a official union vote through the National Labor Relations Board, they have also, done the usual, send a message to Activision Blizzard to ask them to voluntarily recognize the union, which, good luck. We know how those tend to go, but with it being the whole studio, which is cool, it is something that takes away at least some of the wind out of their sails, but I'm sure they'll continue to find BS stuff because, man, do they hire a lot of union busting firms. I won't say they're good at it, but they try a lot. Anything to add? No, covered it. It's Proletariat. Good luck to you. I hope this goes well. And it's again gathering momentum, and it's the kind of thing where I love to bring this sort of news, but I hope it soon gets to the point where it's just another week, another dev studio unionizing, whatever. Like when the first Starbucks unionized in Buffalo. And now it's how many are nationwide. They're just boom, boom, boom. That kind of rolling momentum, and I want to see that here too.
We could, in some form, wish that the companies would just, do well by their employees, but in today's capitalism, it just ain't going to happen that way.
Especially, I think, under Activision Blizzard right now. Oh boy, Dave just laughed. I'm scared. What you got?
Just a lot of stories that, because of last week's Nerdies, which was such a great success, thank you, Boater, and everyone
went
for
so
all
well.
of their work.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
There's an awesome. Okay, we were talking about ones, photos, whatever. There's an awesome photograph of Steve at work. If you want to see some of the stuff that Steve does to make the show happen every week, and how last week went so smooth. Thank you, Steve. And there's plenty of photos there showing the work that he put into it. So, but yes, because of Nerdies last week, we didn't share as many news topics.
Let's see. Where was I going with that thought?
I don't know, Dave. I can
Um,
only help you so much. Do you want a floaty? I can throw you a life ring.
So the FIFA World Cup swept through the nation with much excitement and much grandeur, and folks were genuinely enthralled with it. And just when America got kicked out of it, it just as quickly disappeared. But there was an odd shining spot on it, which is for the fourth consecutive World Cup, EA's FIFA franchise were able to successfully predict the winner of that year's World Cup, starting with all of the teams in a bracket. They simulated on this year. It was on November 8th, well before the World Cup even started and occurred. And the only hink they successfully predicted that Argentina was going to win was the they predicted that Brazil was going to be in the finals instead of France, but they had France coming in third. So second and third being flipped is not a bad
Yeah.
way to predict it. And 4 years in a row, 4 World Cups in a row, which, as we know, are not a yearly thing, but a really cool and interesting little thing, especially because this is the last EA FIFA. As starting next year, it will be EA Sports FC, and it will feature different football clubs, but
right.
not the FIFA branding. Hopefully, they'll be able to continue this streak. I thought it was really fascinating, and the whole tournament playout is available on the FIFA website, where you can see really scarily good stats and simulation on
Yeah.
their part for it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is just basically just letting them run is just run a computer simulation. I had forgotten about that because this is the fourth year running that they've done that. Oh, the fourth cup running. I'd forgotten about that from previous years. That's cool and also a little scary, but generally cool. I mean, ultimately, it's not the only computer simulation of a sports event that's out there, but it is one that's
Yes.
really accessible.
It proves to the accuracy that EA can put in when they put in the effort for these team stats and things like that, as opposed to Madden, more specifically, where teams are just terrible and stay that way.
Um, our the last one of the year, I'll throw you a bone here, Dave. Our little brother, Epic Games, had quite the injustice levied against them, with a $520 million fine from the FTC for violating privacy standards for minors and for duplicitous practices that made it easy for people to accidentally spend money in their stores, and at the same time, really hard to get refunds.
Oh,
Um,
ugh.
and then with some evidence that once people did get refunds, then they ended up with their accounts getting banned. Epic has already gone ahead and changed the defaults for a lot of in-game settings, but it was the kind of thing where like there not being a confirmation dialog that comes up for spending your premium currency. The bit about privacy standards for minors is microphone on being the default, and some other things like that, which are just like stuff that other game companies have been able to do, have been able to do correctly. But at the same time, there are other games that just, oh yeah, mic on by default. That's kind of how it is, and it's like, no, these are updating things, changing all the time, and Fortnite is kind of the easy big one to go after. When you do that, then the rest of the industry, will hopefully fall in line. 520 million is not a small amount, but it's not a huge amount either for
No.
Epic. I I haven't seen any recent numbers of like what Epic made last year or even what Fortnite made last year. However, it was announced at one point that the first 2 years that Fortnite was out, it made $9 billion in revenue. I'm sure that's gone up since then. So 520 million is not a small number by any means. It's the kind of thing that feels like a somewhat reasonable number to me for this sort of thing, as opposed to like, oh, they got a $53,000 fine, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or even like a $2 million, which sounds big and would be life changing for us, but is nothing for Epic. 520 million, cool half bill. Yeah. I
As
think
reported
go ahead.
last week by Sustaina in the Weekend Wednesday Discord, one of the games that was nominated for Worst Game of the Year lost and is now dead. And we're so going to mourn the Mario Kart ripoff that was Chocobo GP. No, the game is not taken down, but um, they announced that they're going to be making no more major updates and no new content, which includes no new carts, no new tracks, things like that.
I'm honestly surprised that they were still making content for it at this point. Seems like the kind of thing they would just crap out and be done with. So like it is still, it's not necessarily dead. There's still the servers up for the 3 people that still play it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and as of January 6th, the premium currency will become null and void and it will be removed from the game. And they have already confirmed no refunds, no backseas, and they added an emphatic to the end of the statement in regards to whether or not you could use the premium currency in other games that use it.
Boo. Stuff that was unlocked by premium currency. You know, if you have the currency, just spend it, get stuff. But then at that point, is that stuff just gonna be unlocked for everybody, or is it just nope, no way to get the stuff that currency was spent
From
on?
reading, the store bits that use the premium currency are just going to disappear. So
Hmm.
the content that would be within is just going to go away and be inaccessible.
Okay, so there will be no store for it. Okay, interesting. What you have at that point is what you get. What you have on the cart is the game.
For the premium currency.
Right,
For the
right.
in-game currency, yes, there still be accessible items and things, but there is a finite amount, as there will be no more new and not happening. And we're so sorry, Chocobo GP. If you had maybe won a Nerdy Award, you might still be going. Who knows?
I feel like if they won the Nerdy for worst game of the year, they would be even pissier about it. That they would be like, no, the game is down. It's gone. We're not supporting it anymore. They just
This
would
is
have been
done
very
now.
sour about it. Taking my ball and going home.
Speaking of sour grapes, boy howdy is Sony's campaign to get the Microsoft Activision Blizzard King merger on the wrong foot. But the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, who had opened their investigation and have until March 1st to pronounce what their findings are and things like that, they opened in the past week for public comment on the investigation and on the points, and they listed them off in a very official looking manner for people to be able to get 2K responses there and abouts. Some were for, some were against. And in the nicest way possible, they said there was a select amount that, quote, took a negligible number taking no stance. Boy, Internet, you got a microphone, you ran up to it, and you just shouted Bapa Booey, didn't you?
Well, I
You
mean,
felt
like,
real good.
I don't know why you would respond if you have no stance on it. Like, if you ask for feedback, the people giving feedback are people that are going to have feelings about it one way or the other.
Apparently, some of the responses were just nonsense characters, just obscenities posted, and things like that. So reported the Competition and Markets Authority, who thanked the people that responded in pros and cons or in their opinions of the things, but just had to acknowledge the select amount that took no stance, but instead just memed about it.
I see. Plenty of yo mama jokes. Good job, Internet. You did it. You did good. You've done us proud once more.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge is getting got a small update this past week. It was part of the Game Awards, was nominated for many different awards and won one. Don't remember which one, but by God, good for you guys. They added, because it is in the classic style and art of an arcade beat 'em up, but the presentation was HD and all
Okay,
those things.
yep.
They did add the ability to make the game appear as if it is on a standard CRT TV or a curved CRT TV,
Ooh.
or a VCR filter, which causes flicking in the screen to
Yeah, and
sometimes
the little screen tear or
shoot up.
whatever. I'm always interested in that because like more and more I'm reading stuff about like how in the past 20 years, if you've thought about sprites, you think of like the squares and the jagged edges and
Yeah,
whatever. And then like seeing these things of like, no, here's how that actually looked on a CRT. It's smoothed out. It has more resolution. The lines break it up and it's smooth. It doesn't look like individual squares. It looks like a smooth gradient and so I'm interested now to see like how that can be done by software so that you don't have to go buy a CRT to play older games.
I'm hoping it continues, and I do like it. It is a nod to, hey, here's all these TMNT games that were of this style, and this was their
Yeah.
presentation in Natural. For those of you that have played it, they did add a fun little way to customize the arcade game, adding modes such as Respectful Reptile, Revive No More, Faster Foot, Blasting Baddies, Aggro Adversaries, Radical Ninja, and Doppelgangers, to name a few of the funnier named little modes that were added in.
That kind of feels like Halo skulls that you add as
Yes,
multipliers to your
definitely.
game.
That's definitely what the ilk of it
Yeah.
was. To make a game you've played and you've already beaten that multiple playthroughs will yield some small amount of extra
Mhm.
unlocks, things like that. But there's not like oh my god, you've unlocked a secret ending. Like, all right, we're
As
gonna give
opposed
you
to,
these
like,
game modes.
Yeah, to play through and really try something really different with that.
Yeah.
Um we're going to talk for a couple moments about how the ongoing war in Ukraine has affected um, game development. If this is a topic that you don't want to hear, that you don't want to hear about, feel free to leave for about 5 minutes or so. Then come on back, and we're gonna see about the outcome of the poll of what snack we're gonna have. But yeah, a couple of studios shared how the ongoing invasion has affected their ability to work and how it's affected their employees. So I'm gonna start with GSC Game World. We've talked a bit before about how this a Ukrainian company. They make the Stalker series. Was it Stalker Road to Chernobyl? Shadow of Chernobyl? Something like that. They're currently developing Stalker 2, and we've already talked a bit about how they've tried to enable devs who can and who wish to move out of Ukraine to other countries where they've also got studios. But there are still people who are left in Kiev and other places in Ukraine. And their Twitter account yesterday shared a video that we're not going. It's not graphic, but we're not going to show the video. I just didn't have Steve grab it for us. With the caption, "Wartime game development be like." Drowning out the air raid siren with the sound of a harp within the bomb shelter. Hashtag unbreakable. And it just kind of pans around, and they're all kind of, uh, together as like, a group of people that know each other, community, whatever. Some of them have, loved ones with them. Someone's playing a harp in the middle. There's, some people, grabbing books out of the bookcase there. One guy's on his laptop, headphones on, and that was followed up with a crop in caption that said, "I think he's still working on the game though."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's the kind of thing of just trying to make the best of this bad scenario, to make the best of a bad thing. And it is a bad thing that a lot of them are having to deal with because the Defense of Ukraine Twitter account announced the death of one of the developers in battle. Um, Volodymyr Yezhov. I probably mispronounced that. Um, the uh, GSC Game World's Twitter account did follow that up, saying, Volodymyr gave us so many games, so many universes. The players will always remember him. Thank you, Volodymyr. Our condolences to the family. Ukraine has lost another hero. And then in Ukrainian, they say, heroes do not die. Yeah, it's just... I don't have a feel-good note for that, but it's not necessarily a feel-good thing. It is something that this is still an ongoing thing
Yes.
in Ukraine. Just because, we're not seeing Ukrainian flags all over social media anymore doesn't mean that it's not still something that is very real for people in that part of the world. And GSC Game World, I don't think, was the only Ukrainian studio that has been dealing with it.
Yeah, I know Frogware's one of the companies that did the Sherlock games of various acclaim and notoriety or memishness to people, was also tweeting and showing, hey, this is what we're currently living with. This is what it's kind of like on their official Twitter. Nothing graphic in content, except that that's the reality of air raid sirens, explosions, things like that. Just because we here in the Western world have taken down the Black Lives Matter posts and done all these things doesn't mean the work is done anywhere else, and doesn't mean people are necessarily getting to have the liberties and freedoms that we are spoiled with on a daily basis. But at the same point, continuing to support, continuing to acknowledge, continuing to know in the back of your head, hey, if a moment arises where something can be done, donate a can of food, donate blood, do these things. Help your local community if you don't necessarily have what can be done to build up the rest of the world around you. There's no such thing as Superman, but there is a super in all of us to be able to build up the world around us. It's just a matter of taking it from within ourselves and knowing that the world is a scary place, but there is never a time where we need to take on the weight of the world alone.
Yeah, it's one thing that we're seeing from the development teams is that they are teams, and it's people who are all supporting each other.
Definitely.
What that video that GSC Game World shared from within the shelter, it without context, it just looked like a bunch of people hanging out in the basement as a community. And it's always worth asking what you can do with your community, whether that's friends, the town you live in, anywhere on up society. You are part of a group of people who can help and support each other. And when you can, you should.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sticking with us through that. It is something that affects gaming, and we felt it was important to share some of that. As we look forward to a new year, there is still rough stuff. So thank you for bearing with us as we kind of decided to report on that. And if you were just coming back from a 5-minute break, I'm sorry that I didn't time it. Hopefully it was about right. It's about time for us to try something that hopefully isn't going to be awful. Dave, would you do the honors?
Definitely. But as an assurance and as
Yes,
a
please.
thing, just remember that Nerd Glasses, it's me and Boater. We have our views, we have our perspectives on these things, and we're not afraid to talk about the things that are going on around us or the things that we see. And if you guys have feelings, opinions, thoughts, things like that, make them heard. We would love to talk about them. We want Nerd Glasses to continue to be an open dialogue, a live program.
We're community here too, and that includes all of you.
So continue to make your voices heard and continue to let us know what do you like, what you don't like, all those things going on. And speaking of likes, we had a winner, and the winner was, oh my God, with 92% of the vote, 1.1K of the vote was the Mystery Box. So for those of you that voted with your very nice channel points, I will be going through and adding some different channel point incentives and redemptions here on Insane Games TV. Things like the obvious things like have the streamer stretch and stuff like that, and hydrate. Super easy things for us to use and things of this nature. But
the mystery box.
In the mystery box,
We get to eat the mystery box.
No,
I'm gonna
Not
eat
this
the
year.
box. It's my box, Steve. It was voted and it's my box. Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles cereal candy bites.
I'm still down.
From Frankfurt, who
Wait.
I believe were the people that made
No.
our Kraft macaroni and cheese
No.
gummies.
No,
Our
you
friends
can't
who
do
made
that to me.
The
You
gummy
can't.
Lunchables.
No, are those gummy?
They do not appear to be. They do not shake like gummies, but they are by the people who
So-
made those wonderful gummies.
No. No. Hold on. No. I saw Fruity Pebbles and I'm like, ooh, and I see cereal and candy bites and I'm like, maybe it's like those like breakfast bars where it's like, this kind of like fake dairy thing that's holding a bunch of them together. Why must you? Okay, no, you know what? Maybe if it's not gummy, then maybe it's still fine.
That's the magic of the mystery box, my friend. It could have been. It could have been anything, even Pilk.
I'm not touching Pilk again. Like I said, melee range.
Oh no. They're individually wrapped.
Huh. They're individually wrapped little candies. Okay.
So for on camera's sake, for those of you listening with audio only, sorry, we've given you an app description, but here's the box and here's the product there within. A little metal wrapper that says Fruity Pebbles, or in this case, mine says Woody Peebles, because of how it crunched.
I shall now open the wrapper. And yeah, we've got a white kind of creamy looking ball.
Smells like Fruity Pebbles.
It does, actually. That was an issue with the gummies, is that they didn't really smell. Oh, you just went for it. It
Yeah,
smells like Fruity Pebbles Plus, like it's like there's something extra. White chocolate, yep. Mostly just tastes like white chocolate.
Awful. Just terrible.
I don't mind white chocolate, but like that needed more Fruity Pebbles in it. I've got a little bit.
It's like someone took Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, like that's 100% what it is that there's maybe half a dozen pebbles within that centimeter wide ball of white chocolate. Maybe 10 max. Yeah. Not enough pebbles.
Product of Philadelphia, PA. Way to go, Philly. You won again. What an interesting thing to have eaten this week.
I'm going to say this facetiously. I can't wait to see what awful things you spring on me in 2023.
I am really excited that it seems like stores are springing for the odd. When you walk down the aisles, you're seeing more and more, in the case of foods and things like that, more outside of the usual things there, which means there's always going to be the unusual, and I'm very much looking forward to what horrors. Steve, what's that thing that when I said like, oh, I found a thing for us, you got really excited and blurted out some combination of stuff that was seemed non-Newtonian again? It's on the ilk of Pilk. It was orange juice and something.
Orange juice and strawberry syrup.
Yeah, orange juice and strawberry syrup. That's the next thing that Steve's trying to make a thing.
Hold on. Orange juice and strawberry syrup. I got distracted by someone RSVPing to a thing I'm going to. Did you say orange juice and strawberry syrup?
Yes, it's supposed to taste like some kind of Starburst. Supposed. I'm 100% willing to try it.
From the same person that brought us Pilk.
I didn't bring Pilk. Laverne and
comes-
Shirley brought Pilk.
No, you brought Pilk to this program. From the same person who brought us Pilk and all of the scenes in Nerd Vision comes orange juice and strawberry syrup. Just god awful.
Sounds good.
I feel like you're going to have that, and I'm just going to need just like a handle of vodka.
I could bring that too. Mix it in.
No, don't mix it. I'll just take it straight.
Okay.
Although at that point, you're basically making a strawberry mimosa. Could be interesting. No, that would need to be champagne. Strawberry screwdriver is with vodka. Still interesting. Anyway, I'm going to get my mind off of things that I might try during my New Year's Eve party. And say, as we wind down to the end of the program of the last one of the year. Well, first off, I don't know if there were any other news stories you wanted to handle, but then I did want to ask you a question before we close out. But if you've got
Oh,
any
sure.
stories,
There's a
first.
big breaking one going on because the Australian company Pokemon Pty Ltd announced that they were going to be making a crypto Pokemon game called Pokeworld. With the umlaut over top, they announced their company had some
Exactly.
credits working on Pokemon Home, Pokemon Sleep, and had some hand in developing Scarlet and Violet. To which our friends at Nintendo immediately said, "Oh, we'll be getting the lawyers because this is very clearly
Okay. Okay,
an
good.
IP theft
So,
issue."
so this is not an officially licensed whatever. They're just deciding to use Pokemon.
Yes, they are
Okay,
illegally
okay.
using Pokemon IP names, imagery, everything. The Pokemon Company officially said, "We don't have ourselves and Nintendo corporate-wise have no plans for NFTs and no current executions of NFTs,
This
and
isn't
any claiming to be are fraudulent."
this isn't the first time that Pokemon has been used for NFTs either. Like far from it. We've talked about some of them before.
And so they have brought this company to court to stop the launch of Pokeworld and to stop the use of Pokemon Company's IP, especially in this manner. I look forward to seeing what the company decides to rebrand to in the near future to try to hawk their broware to all
Right.
the morons out there. Um, on a positive side, um, Kazumori Yamauchi, the creator of Gran Turismo, the president of the company that makes Gran Turismo games,
Mm-hmm.
made a post recently celebrating 25 years of Gran Turismo. The email, short blurb, it's very excited, and I liked the context of it because it's written in a lot of the ways of people who are excited. Sometimes speak in text where it's one line thought period, space next thought
Yeah, yeah.
paragraph, then one line, then two lines, and this talking about how in 1992 when the company was founded there was only 100 employees, and now in 2022 they have over doubled to over 200 employees. And an official sales talking about Gran Turismo since its founding as of November 16th, 2022, have now sold 9 million copies of the Gran Turismo games
Yeah.
over and around. Which is nice and cool to see that a Game of the Year nominee from the Nerdies has such notoriety, such history.
Yeah, it has such a legacy behind it. Like Gran Turismo is one of those marquee names back from the PS1 days. Is a long-standing brand for PS1, like for PlayStation. So it's just really cool to see that they have been able to stay together as Polyphony Digital. Unlike some places that do racing games, sorry, Bizarre Creations. Uh,
So many companies.
and plenty others besides. So yeah, just really happy for Polyphony Digital on their 25th anniversary of their first game's release, and looking forward to 25 more. Um, so I guess the last thing, Dave, looking forward, what are you looking forward to in 2023?
Um,
Do you have something that you are getting ready for that you're looking forward to? It can be gaming, something to
I-
watch, whatever.
I've definitely given a lot of thought to this because myself and Amp Slayer talk on a weekly basis about DAM 314, Insane Games TV, my wife and I talking about the games that we play and the time that we spend, and of course you're a metal bottle. Of course you're a metal bottle and not a cork.
Is it a twisty or no?
It is
Fine,
not.
I got it.
But I did bring some Martinelli's sparkling Crapple cider for us to enjoy here as we close. But I'm really looking forward to just continuing the successes that I've found here on Twitch. Not by any stretch atmospheric in growth or of the nature of becoming a household name or things like that, but still really just looking forward to continuing to live stream and have fun with them as we've had in past years and as I will in the future, to celebrate another year of Nerd Glasses. Looking forward to another Nerdies next year. More streams with the Weekend Wednesday here on Insane Games TV, and just getting to do more experiential things and looking forward to sharing more of these things with everybody, is what I'm looking forward to.
I was just gonna try to think if I'm looking forward to a game, but that's a damn good answer. And the answer is actually I haven't looked ahead far enough in 2023 to know if there's a game I'm looking. I asked a question that I wasn't ready to answer. I mean, I'm getting ready for Bad Batch season 2 coming
You
out
could-
in a few weeks, but
You could genuinely just go to the camera and say, "That Star Wars game, you know the one," because there will be a Star Wars game in
will
2023
there though?
that is going to be badass.
I mean, like, I mean, I guess it's not the exclusive license of EA anymore, where we got like 2 games over a span of 5 years, but still, I mean, I'm looking forward to hopefully learning more about the next Mass Effect. Like, but that's not necessarily like, yeah, I don't really know what games are coming out that I look forward to being surprised, I guess. Some of the games that I really enjoyed a lot this year are games that I first learned about with you saying something, hey, this is coming out in 7 days. We Are OFK, Stray, I think we first talked about here. Plenty of stuff like that. I look forward to being surprised this year because more than the big AAA games, I enjoy the little surprises that come out of nowhere. So, I
Once again,
guess
Martinelli's sparkling Crapple cider for those of you watching at home or may have incidentally wandered in front of your Twitch machines.
yeah, we got to drive home after this. So,
Speaking
You have
of
an
after
hour.
this, you can look forward to the final episode of 2022's Shovelware Shack, featuring the hosting talents of our producer here, Steve.
hi, he said. He doesn't have his mic on, so I had to relay the audio.
So that inevitably, if somebody tries to take a clip of it, I want the label visible so
Yes.
people know.
This is a non-alcoholic beverage. Yeah.
Taco Pill Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection looks good. I'm
Nice.
glad to thank you for participating, by the way, in our discussions. As always, it really does make a difference.
Yeah, here's to having had a successful 2022, everybody. Here's looking forward to another year of Nerd Glasses. I said I'm looking forward to surprises, and I'm looking forward to whatever wacky, weird stuff you guys bring to this program. That I'm honored to always be a part of. So, cheers!
Cheers!
I'm not gonna chug it, but that's tasty actually.
That's good grapple.
That is good grapple. Well, Dave, that is another Nerd Glasses in the books, and that is the final 2022 Nerd Glasses. Thank you, everybody, that has been part of it this year and years prior, and going into next year. Another shout out for More Like Rigor Mortis, who is the award-winning third host,
Of
community
2022,
member.
and we're really grateful to their efforts and joining us every week and participating in so many different facets and awards. Next year, you too could potentially win the third host award. Make sure to get your chats in. Love Alec at the top of the stream for the raid,
Mm-hmm.
and all of you folks who chatted throughout the program, throughout
Demon
the
Dragon,
year.
Vladdy, Anti, Dude Icarus, you're over there, but still you chatted.
Taco Pill, as always.
So yeah, thank you everybody. Like this is something that I enjoy doing every week, and you know a lot of it is that Dave, I enjoy spending the time with you, but a lot of it is
Likewise.
that you guys make it too. So thank you for enabling our tomfoolery. From all of us here at Nerd Glasses Podcast, for the final time in the 2022 calendar year, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you stick around for Shovelware Shack immediately after this to see a little bit more of Steve. And we will see you next year on Tuesday starting at 7:45 Eastern, right here at Insane Games TV. From all of us here, I've been Boater,
I've been Dave Mann.
and he's been Steve. And we'll see you next time. Bye!